Hey friends, today we're going to talk about manifestation, law of attraction, and how you can get everything you want in life plus more without falling into the booby traps and pitfalls of pop culture, law of attraction, and manifestation. So first I would like to just give you a little background about my experience with the law of attraction. Let's start with how many books I've read on the law of attraction, because I've read them all. So here we are in my garage with my Lamborghinis. These are just some of the law of attraction books I've read and studied over the past 20 years. This doesn't cover all of them, but this covers some of them, the ones I have on hand. For today's lesson, I wanted to grab just one or two of these books that really kind of encapsulate what I'm trying to convey to you in today's lesson to really help you to start getting what you want. And I'm going to pick, of all of these books, can you guess which one I'm going to pick? I'm going to pick this one, The Magic in Your Mind by Uell Andersen. Any one of these books, by the way, they're all great reads. They all have their place, but I feel that some of them can fall a little bit flat. So let's go ahead and take a little field trip, and we're going to talk about manifestation, law of attraction, and how to get what you really want. And I'm going to give you the keys to the Lamborghini, my friend. So I think where I want to dig in on all of this stuff is by starting with, have you ever noticed that when you're reading a law of attraction or manifestation book, there's something missing in there? It's like there's an emptiness to it. Part of you knows that it's the truth, but then part of you knows there's something missing. If we get to what exactly is missing in the pop culture law of attraction manifestation books, we're getting on the right trailhead. We're starting off on the right foot. So let's dig into that. And now to dig into that, it's going to be helpful for me to share my own story. So let's rewind for a bit. I'm going to take you all the way to 2015, right before I took a walkabout. So I'd spent 2009 to 2015 manifesting my little tokus off, building this online business. My channel was growing. By the way, before I took my sabbatical, I had well over 400 something thousand subscribers. I probably would have had 1 million subscribers by now. So anyway, I was manifesting my little tokus off. I had a great guy. We had a couple different places, one by the beach in Miami. I had my own little studio in Chicago that I filmed my videos in. It was kind of like my little Zen den. I had everything you could ask for, a thriving business, lots of money coming in, but I was clinically depressed. I wasn't by any means fulfilled. And there was always something on the horizon that I was grabbing at. And so I think that's a really good place to start, that trailhead. Let's get out of my closet though. Hold on. Let's go pack and let's take our field trip. Let's start our field trip, but first we have to pack. So not only was I clinically depressed, I was also just very frustrated and restless, and I wasn't listening to my soul. So the trailhead that we're going to start from is a question that I'm going to posit to you. What is worth spending my life on? And I think if we get this right, it flips the whole thing right side up. And then you manifest and you get the things that you want, and you get the material possessions, and you get the beauty, and you get the accoutrements, and you get the relationships, and you get the friendships. You get the material, and it's just a byproduct of what's going on in here. But I think a lot of the times we miss that. We're reaching, we're grabbing, we're grasping. Trust me when I tell you, there is nothing out there that can make you feel whole. It's actually the wholeness and fullness from within that helps you to manifest your outer world. You may have heard this 1,000,001 times and not believed it and said, yeah, but I've got bills to pay, but I've got this and that, but I've got this and that, but I want a husband, but my clock is ticking, but all this stuff. And to that I say, I promise you, I will not steer you wrong in this episode. I promise you that when you arrive in the present moment, in your wholeness, all else is given, all else is taken care of, all else will come. So if we consider what is a worthy focus of one's life, we can take a minute to look at what people in this world kind of focus on. There's an endless list of things to focus on. We could focus on careers, we could focus on things, material possessions, creature comforts, the sensory pleasures of this life. We could focus on the roles that we play. We could focus on acquiring relationships. We could focus on a million different things in this outside world, and all of them are transient. All of them are forever and ever changing. The careers will end. The relationships will end. your body will change. The money comes, the money goes. And so I'm not telling you those things aren't worthy of focus. I'm saying it's a worthy question to ask. What do I want my life's central focus to be? What is a life worth spending on? This is the most important question any human being can ask, and we need to ask it every day. What is a worthy cause for me to focus on? And I found in my own personal life that focusing on the transient things in the outside world was a fruitless, empty pursuit. I also found that there was nothing out there that could make me feel the sense of completeness that I was hoping it would make me feel. That's a bummer for the ego, I know. And I know you don't believe me, but let me give you evidence. So let's chat. I promised you evidence and I'm going to give it to you, but I'm going to give it to you from one of my favorite places. This is a little quiet nook in Austin. Shh, nobody knows about this spot. But I promised you evidence, so let me give you the evidence. Marilyn Monroe, Anthony Bourdain, Kate Spade, Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain. Shall I go on? How about the lottery winners who are destitute and drug-addled and drug-addicted? How about Puff Daddy? How about all the millionaires and billionaires who are still miserable? Marilyn Monroe, one of the most beloved women of her time, one of the wealthiest women of her time, said, and I quote, "If I'm anything consistently, with any consistency, if I feel anything, it's misery." She died miserable, depressed, sad, and alone. This is my evidence to you that there's nothing out there, nothing out there that can make you feel the way you're expecting it to make you feel. I know that you know that. We all say it. We all say it with me. Say it with me. Say it with me. Well, we all say there is nothing out there that can make me feel whole or complete. However, except for if I just get this one thing, and we all have our exceptions. The ego does its magic and it convinces you, it hypnotizes you, and it says, yeah, that's all good and well, but they don't know what it's like to have bills to pay. I know what it's like to have bills to pay. I understand what it's like to not believe millionaires and billionaires who say money doesn't buy happiness. I understand. However, the truth of it is, you can see the evidence. It's in plain sight, my friends. It's in plain sight. So to make material acquisitions, roles, and any other material transient things of this world, they call it Maya in the Vedic traditions, is to build your house on sand. It's not solid ground. So speaking from personal experience, you could spend a lifetime manifesting your little heart out only to end up with an empty cup. An empty, dusty cup, wondering, why am I not feeling fulfilled? Why does this money not hit the spot? Why am I always and forever chasing on the horizon? Why have I never arrived? I promise you, I was lucky enough that I got that at a young age where I had a modicum of success. I'm going to tell you another quick story. Quick diversion. It was one of the best sales days I ever had before I took my walkabout, and it was a Black Friday sale, and I made a lot of money. And I had set these little milestones for myself, and though I wasn't really all that much monetarily driven, there was a part of me that because I grew up in we definitely were not comfortable. Sometimes it was scary. It was a lot of scarcity. So money to me equals a sense of safety. Once I get a certain amount, then I'll feel safe. Once I get a certain amount of money, then I'll feel complete. Once I get a certain amount of money, surely I won't feel X, Y, or Z. And I had this mega sales day. And it was at the height of the peak on a Black Friday sale, the peak of my career. And I still didn't feel safe. I still didn't feel peaceful. I still hadn't had that feeling of arrival. So what I came to learn was that I make myself peaceful. I make myself feel rich. I make myself feel loving. It's me who generates those feelings. Those feelings are within me. The great master said the kingdom of heaven is within. I am the epicenter of the emotions that I'm seeking in the outside world. It's me. It's within me. The diamond is in my pocket, as Gangaji says. So if we start from this trailhead, This is epic. If we start from this trailhead of I am full, I am complete, I bring joy to myself. I feel rich because I am rich, because I'm rich, because I am that, because I am that, because I am that. I am rich because I am rich. I'm not rich because of money out there. I'm rich because I'm rich. I'm happy because I'm happy. I'm joyful because I'm joyful. I'm loved because I'm loved. I don't need anything out there to prove it to me. I am that I am that I am that I am, times a million, times a billion, times infinity. If we start from that trailhead, there are no deficiencies, then we're not driven by the ego. So there are two paths to this manifestation thing, my friends. This is what I really wanted to make this video about, why I'm so passionate about it. Because there are only two paths in life, only two. You can only be directed by either your ego or your soul. That's it. You can't have it both ways. Now, if you're manifesting from your soul, you're not even having to manifest. You don't even need to try. There's a non-doing. They call it being in the Tao. You're just in the flow. It's non-doing. In the Vedic traditions, they call this Dharma. You're on your path. It's just a pulling. In the Christian traditions, they call this God's will. Whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you want to call it. What I'm telling you is that if you're manifesting from your ego, it's everything we just started the video with. That emptiness, that empty cup, that never really having fully arrived. It's just an empty feeling. And then you're putting spackling on top of the ego's little wounds. And the result is never going to be good. You're never getting to the bottom of anything. Whereas if you're manifesting from your soul, you're actually getting what you want. You're not getting what you think you ought to want. You're not getting what you think you should want. You're not getting a bunch of exhaustion and overworking and overachieving and nonsense and putting yourself in debt and all the lifestyle creep and all of that BS that comes with manifesting. The pop culture, law of attraction manifestation stuff. Being on dating apps, trying to find the one and all that BS. You can let go of all that when you align with your soul. So when you're aligned with your soul, my goodness, you know what your soul wants. It's in alignment with the universe and it flows to you freely and easily. This is, again, non-doing. This is a path of non-doing. So now I'm going to give you a very simple framework and I'm going to give you some very simple tools to help you to start getting what you really want out of life. And this is called manifestation for grown-ups. That's what I'm calling it. Manifestation for masters and grown-ups who have come to the realization again that nothing out there is what it is. It's all coming from within. So here it is. Step one, part one, you have to know what you truly want and what you truly want on a deep level. So what you truly want has nothing to do with what your ego wants. What you truly want is what your soul wants. So we align our body, mind, and spirit together. That's called union, yoking, whatever you want to call it, being in God's will. We align ourselves with that divine source so that we know what we truly want. And what you truly want is going to be a lot simpler, a lot more clear, a lot easier to hear than what the ego wants. So how do we do this? First of all, how do we do this? How do we align with the body, mind, and spirit? How do we get ourselves connected with our soul? This is very simple. This is actually easier than not doing it. To align with your soul is easier than not aligning with your soul. Here's what it is. You relax. You quiet down. You let yourself enjoy your life. You take warm baths. You go to yoga nidra. You go to yoga class. Have the courage to get quiet enough so that you're not influenced by the outside world. And stop letting other people's lives dictate what you're choosing to do with your life. Stop worrying about if you're on track. Stop worrying about if you're doing the right thing. Start listening deeply to your soul, and the way that you do that is to just simply relax. The more you relax, the more in alignment you are with your soul. So the more that you can put yourself in a relaxed state, this means peace, the better off you are. When I made peace my number one priority, I was able to manifest even more material possessions, even more material success than when I was manifesting from brute force and from my ego, driving me into the ground with exhaustion. So when I made peace my number one priority, I had a sense of clarity. I had a sense of bliss. I had a sense of direction. It was very clear, and I was guided from teacher to teacher, certification to certification, good fortune to good fortune. all things flow freely and easily when you're in peace. So make peace the number one priority in your life. Okay, so now you're aligned, you got your body, mind, and spirit aligned. So how do you know if what you want is what your soul wants? Here's how you know. This is it. Are you ready? This is it. This is really, really, really good stuff. Your soul pulls you towards things. When you are in alignment with your soul, the divine beloved is pulling you towards things. It's a heart-centered pull. You're drawn to things. You're excited about things. When your ego is in charge, it's a grasping at. It's a flailing. It's a restlessness. Your soul is in peace about things. There's a suchness about it. I'm so peaceful about delivering this message to you today. I mean, there is some tech stuff and I got to organize and all of that. I have to put it together, but there's a peace to it. There's a suchness to it. I'm not driven into a state of stress or anxiety about it. So that's how you can tell. Is it peaceful? Is it bringing you joy? Is it bringing you harmony? Are you pulled forward by it? You're not grasping and reaching. Ego is grasping and reaching. So here's another visual that I like to give you. If you go into the universe with an empty cup and it's got a hole in it, and it's all dusty and it's empty and you're thirsty and you're desperate and you're shaking your cup around. When you're a thirsty person in the desert with an empty cup that's got a hole in it, you're forever going to be thirsty and you're not going to have discernment. You're going to be tricked by the mirages on the horizon. You're going to be drinking seawater because you can't think straight. Another way to put this in real life terms is you're going to be reaching for things that you don't even want to reach for. You're going to be dating people that aren't good for you. You're going to be taking job offers that you should not be taking. You're going to be spending a lot of time with your body doing diets that aren't healthy for you. When you're in that empty cup space and there's a hole in your cup, it's never full and you're not able to be directed by your soul. But when you fill up with your soul, you go into the desert, it doesn't matter. You've got a full cup. Now, whatever you pick on the outside, it's going to be because you actually want it, because you actually need it, because it's actually something that's pulled you. Now, you're on the right trailhead. You filled your soul up. You're so ready to manifest. You know exactly what you want. I'm going to give you some very powerful tools now on how to actually manifest it. So now, do you see why we have to start with all the preemptive, pre-exemplary stuff? Why we can't just start and say, here's how you manifest a Ferrari. Here's how you manifest a six-figure business. Here's how you manifest a dream partner. If we start from that trailhead without all the other beautiful stuff I just shared with you, again, we're going into the desert with an empty cup. So now you got a full cup. Your heart's full. You're ready to manifest. Ask honestly now, what do I want from that place of fullness? And then I want you to write it down. Now here's the very good news. When you are aligned with your soul and when you are full of yourself, become so full of yourself, the true self, now, my friend, the manifestation magic starts to kick in and things are going to start flowing into your life faster than you would ever believe. It's going to come so fast your head's going to spin because the universe is like, yes, she gets it. She's in alignment. She's listening to her soul. A lot of the times, by the way, your soul isn't going to make any sense. Like when I took my 8-year walkabout or 7-year walkabout, it didn't make any sense. But again, I had experienced so much abundance, prosperity, growth, riches of all kinds, inner riches, outer riches, whatever. So it doesn't make sense when your soul is telling you what to do, but you listen to your soul, you listen to the guidance. And this is really exciting stuff because part of manifesting is becoming what you are. And you wouldn't want something unless you were already that. But it's really exciting. It's an exciting journey to become what you are through planning and action. So the number one tool I'm going to give you is now that you've written down what you want on paper, you're going to use Asana to start planning it out. And I know you weren't expecting that, but we need to create structure for this whole thing to flow. The universe loves when we sit down to honor our intentions with a plan. The next tool that I wanted to offer is artflow.ai. I believe that's the website. I'll put it in the link below. I'm not sponsored, but this is an AI tool that helps you to actually superimpose your image onto whatever, you can create different kinds of scenes. And make sure that the scenes that you're creating have some symbology to them. So like every single image on here has a symbol and a meaning to me. This picture, for instance, of me just holding a bunch of cash, this isn't just about cash. This is about something so much deeper. I'm trying to teach others about prosperity, so that means I have to have zero hang-ups about the fact that money is a good thing. We all need money in this world, and I'm not revering money as an endpoint. However, I am encouraging every single person who watches my channel. I want you all to prosper. I want you all to experience having sufficiency and abundance. So that picture is what that symbolizes to me. It's being a teacher of abundance and prosperity, being a teacher of all these things that people are needing so much right now. So there's a symbol for each and every one of these pictures. That one's not so much symbol. That's actually just a nice car. And I want to make it clear that there's nothing wrong with wanting material possessions. Like I said in the beginning, I hope I said that in the beginning. There's nothing wrong with wanting material possessions, so long as that's not the starting point. So long as it's not like, I'm going to have a BMW and that's my main focus. Like I put that nice BMW on there because I like it. I'm in the market for a new BMW. I love my 2016, but it's a 2016, so I could use a new BMW. But anyway, so get a vision board with all of your kind of imagery that feels good for you. And that's tool number 2. Now tool number 3 is Yoga Nidra, which I mentioned before. Tool number 4 is mental diets. So we need to be careful of where we're putting our mind. I don't know if you've noticed, but the news is pretty hectic. And so make sure that you're not getting down there with the doom and gloom talk. Make sure that you're not participating in the Ain't It Awful Club. Make sure you're not participating in the economy is going to hell in a handbasket club. Quick little story, in 2008, that was when the economy melted in the United States, and everybody was talking about the sky is falling. And it was for a lot of people. But I was lucky enough that I've been studying this stuff since before 2009. So I started my business in 2009. If I had listened to all the doom and gloom, I never would have started my business. I would have stayed in the safe place of having my 2 jobs that weren't paying me very well, and I wouldn't have experienced the past 15 years of freedom that I've experienced. So make sure that you're careful about what you're letting in here. Be ruthless about it. And the last tool that I wanted to offer you is your own body. If you use your own body every day as a tool for manifestation, that will unlock a level of acceleration to all of this that you won't believe. So how we use the body for manifestation is we align into joy and relaxation and peace, like I was saying before. So relax your muscles, relax. Do lots of yoga, meditation, warm baths, just relax. And also listen to your body. So if something makes you feel tight in your diaphragm or tight in your chest, stop doing it. If certain people are disharmonious with your system, stop it. Listen to your body, because it is the most powerful tool that you have to kind of communicate with your intuition, to communicate with your higher self. Follow your yeses and follow your tens. Now I'm going to talk to you about manifesting money, because I want you to be able to manifest lots of money at will. This is easier than you think, and it's actually very practical. And that's by asking the question, who can I help and how can I serve? Who can I help and how can I serve is the language of wealth. This is the language of abundance. It's the language of generosity. Do you see how if you turn the lens off of how can I get money into who can I help and how can I serve, it completely transforms the energy. It even feels different. It feels generative. It feels more full. There's an opening there. So how do we do this in practical terms? In practical terms, for me in my life, that's been online business, using my gifts and skills to contribute to other people and solve people's problems. Right now, the problem I'm helping a lot of people solve is starting their online business or getting their current online business thriving. The reason for that is because this is the easiest way, the most direct way to take the skills and talents you already have and distribute them to a large number of people. That's why I put together the 10K in 30 days mini course and the big 6-figure creator program, because I love YouTube, which I talked about in this video. I love YouTube for creating an online business. I love YouTube for contributing to the collective. And I also love online business for creative expression, personal fulfillment. Basically, the past 15 years of my life has been completely transformed by having a business, and having a business and running an online business has been the single best way for me to manifest money. It gives me an opportunity to be in concert with the divine beloved. The universe really loves when you're proactive, when you're taking action. When you're aligned with your body, mind, and spirit, it just so happens that you're going to be really called to contributing your gifts and talents to the world and really expressing yourself with arms wide open, saying, here, take everything, take it all, take it all. The universe there's like a literal rape. The universe cracks those glow lights and it has a party every time you say the question, who can I help and how can I serve? And every time an online business is created, the universe does like like that breakdance chick, the one that did at the Olympics. The universe does one of those, like the Homer Simpson breakdancing, and it's like, woohoo! The universe loves when we create online businesses and any business so that we can give our gifts and talents in exchange for money. It's a perfect setup. So a lot of people are scratching their heads thinking, how do I generate more money? How can I generate more income? We manifest money by contribution, by being selfless and asking, who can I help and how can I serve? And the last part of this that a lot of people get uncomfortable with is exchanging money for it. So people want to pay you for your gifts and talents. You would just have to open doorways for it. So the universe wants you to start creating doorways in your life for money to flow in. If you don't have any doorways open in your life for money to flow in, how can money flow in? But if you create a bunch of doorways for money to flow in, AKA an online business or some kind of business, the universe rejoices. It says, great, you're contributing and you're giving me ways to pay you back, you see? And all of this is why I'm very passionate about teaching online business and prosperity, why I put together my courses the way that I have, and I have a big, huge, all-encompassing course called The 6-Figure Creator. All of these are designed to teach you how to make money with online business, with YouTube, with social media in less than an afternoon and or in a 6-week program. And I'm really proud of the work that I'm doing right now. So all of this stuff is very, very important. Manifesting money and creating contribution and doing your deep work in the world. All of it ties together. So if you want to finally start on YouTube, I want you to check out this video where I'm going to tame your gremlin for you and get you to actually jump into the YouTube game. You're definitely going to want to check that video out now.